Welcome to Get Roaring. I'm Rory. Fancy meeting you here. It's time for some NHL franchise mode with the Buffalo Sabres. Sabres? The Buffalo Sabres. Sabres. We're trying to save the Sabres is what we're trying to do. And Owen Power is injured at the moment. That doesn't affect our forward group, but let's take a look at our lines for a second. Kinda how I expect things. Good morning, Rage. Good to see ya. How you doing today? I was kind of thinking I would like Coolidge on the third line. And Josh Stone at center, maybe? So, let's try and do some of the coach conversations. I don't know, this might go poorly, but let's give it a shot. So let's talk to Lindy Ruff. Actually, first... let's try this. Okay, game plan. Preferred lines. I want to talk about the forwards. I want to talk about line 3. Let's talk about right wing. Josh Stone is playing the right wing or the third. So who do you want to play this position? I would like Coolidge to play there. You want to suggest more changes for the third line? Center. Who would like to play center? I would like... Josh Stone to play that position. That's all I want to say. Okay. So, let's take a look now. Coolidge is there. Let's talk to Coolidge and see if he's okay with playing right wing. Or both wings, I guess. Coolidge. On ice play. Position. Right wing. Okay. Yeah, let's give him time. That should be it. I don't mind on the third line if he's taking like time to figure it out. So hopefully hopefully that works out better. Coolidge was on the fourth line. I don't really want to see if he'll get a scheme fit. Because, like, I don't know about how long Lindy Ruff is going to be around. So I don't really see the point of adjusting players to him. You know? I think we just sort of see how they do in that position. I want him to play well in the right wing. If he can. I don't know if he'll become a left-right winger or just a right winger or something. It'd be nice if he did both, but... Anyway. Top line is clicking okay. Brendan Saad now came into the lineup. That's okay, too. We have Osland and Lomberg scratched. I mean, I'd rather have Osland playing than Bobby McMahon. There will be injuries, though, so he'll probably get in. Alright, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Let's do some more simulating, I think. What do we got coming up? Got Ottawa. Got Detroit. Anaheim's doing pretty good. Vegas is okay. Edmonton is just a bit better than us. Quite a bit better than us. But anyway, we won't talk about that too much. We are bottom of the division, so everybody's better than us. Really? Well, no, there's teams that are very not. The Metropolitan is not in good shape. Our division is actually a lot tougher than theirs. Okay. Let's give it a couple weeks. See what happens. Let's check out the draft class. How come our scouts are doing, like, nothing? Are our scouts working? Are they broken? Like, let's see if this actually does stuff. Okay, that's fair. Okay. I'm gonna go see if I need to do something in scouting. Because it's kind of weird. Do you have to give them, like, orders now or something? Can I just do everybody in the division? Is it maybe it's a setting that I have on that's causing that? But the setting determines whether or not the CPU will auto-assign a scout for you. But does that mean that they don't do anything? Let's go both. Let's see what it does. Okay. I thought that always meant, like, it'll assign them to their divisions and things. Why are we doing this? We're just trading a player? For picks? I mean... I don't quite understand. Is Boston assuming that they're downgrading? Or that they're downgrading their picks? Or ours and I'm not sure. Okay, just let me take a look at the scouts again, just to see what it does. Okay, good. But it doesn't assign them to the thing. Okay, good. It seems to be doing more in some places. Maybe because I've assigned it to these specific players, it's doing that. Okay. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Let's continue on our adventure to Ottawa, and we'll see how Coolidge is doing on the third line. Hayden Fleury is on waivers. Let's take a look. He seems okay. What is he being paid? 6'4", 207, 30 years old, right, left D. I'm okay with that. There's no commitment there, just up to the end of the year. Alright. Oh, we rattled off a few wins. We're 15-11-0. Let's take a look at how the lineup is doing. Osland is back at center. Maybe Bobo is injured? I don't know. Josh Doan is injured. Okay. So McMahon is taking Doan's place. Injuries are going to happen. It looks like Owen Power is back. Muhammad Doolin's up to an 82. Kevin Ball's on the third pairing. Kind of weird. He's probably not overly happy about that. He plays better on the second pairing, but Muhammad Doolin's been put up there by the coach, so he's very good on the second pairing. Ball we have for a very long time. How is his morale? He's happy. Okay. He's not arguing with it, so... Alright, grudge match against Ottawa. Good stuff. Since it's a grudge match, let's see how it goes. Heineman gets one in the first minute on Allmark. Beautiful. Couple of power plays, nothing occurring. I feel like our overall team, our overalls, not pants. The overall rating of our players is kind of on the increase, which is good. I mean, winning helps a lot of things, but... Giroux puts one in on Wolf to tie it up. Dylan Cousins puts one in too. Here we go. 5 on 3, 5 on 4, nothing doing. Power play is a little bit of a concern there. And an empty netter for Ottawa. Not the outcome I wanted in the grudge match, but you know. Allmark, after that first goal, stood on his head. 1-1 for Drew and Greg, 1-1. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. Let's go towards Detroit here. A third and fourth for a second. Okay, now we're talking. That's a little, the more reasonable trade. And it's for our second round pick. Interesting. From a very not good Minnesota. Kind of surprising. Just kind of curious as to the value that we're talking about here. Gotta be down here. Goodness. I mean... He's also injured? I don't think he's going to be anything. So I'm kind of okay with getting this. Can we get, like, can we squeak a 7th out of there? Can we do that? Alright, fine. I'll upgrade to a 2nd. We have some people that are sad about that, but that's okay. That's hockey. No? Hey, can you give me a 3rd round pick for this 6th and 7th? No. Okay. 19, 13, and 0. We're actually in a wild card spot now. Amazing. Against Detroit. The Detroit Red Wings. Grudge match too. Goodness. Goodness. Let's take a look at the lines. See how things are going. Oh, we must have some injuries. Zach Benson's out. Okay, that makes sense. Heineman's moved up. Doan's with Kulich and Sad. McMahon is up to an 81. Good for him. Way to go, Bobo. Hamadulin's a little injured. Kind of where I'm looking for things to go. Alright. Well, let's see how we do in the grudge match. Detroit is 3-7-0 in their last 10, so you know. Beniers puts one in on Gibson. The Cat scores on Levi, so does Cop. Cats and Cops. And Confers. But Beniers bookends that trio of goals. But JVR is like, excuse me, I'm still playing hockey. Alright. Casper puts one in. 5-2 for Detroit going into the second at this point. And the people of Detroit rejoiced. Power play, nothing doing. Seems to be how it goes. Third period. We do have the edge in shots. We're just not putting those shots in the net. Which is how you win hockey games, and we're not winning hockey games. Tage Thompson gets one late. But too little too late. 5-3 victory for Detroit. JVR, still playing hockey, has an amazing night. 1 and 2. Beniers with his bookend goals there. Two goals, 0 assists. And Jesse Comfer's brother, JT Comfer, scores a goal and it gets an assist. Well, that was more grudge and less match for us, really. Unfortunately. Grudges were made. Grudges were made. Let's go to Tirana. A third and a third in Brennan for a third and a fourth. Doesn't make any sense. A fourth and sad for a third and a fourth. Check it out. How's Brendan Saad doing? 17 games played, done absolutely nothing. Seems reasonable. Do you have a warm body? That is very similar to him. I would take Textier. I'd be okay with that instead of the fourth. That works for me. All right. Let's take a look at the lineup now. Textier is slotted in the third line right now, although Benson is still out, so that's fine. Lomberg gets the call instead of Ostland, which is kind of unfortunate, but, you know, c'est la vie. Gotta earn your spot. Mohamedulin's doing okay. Leave it be for now. Alright. Grudge match against the Leafs. Good stuff. We're very similar in record. Very similar. Crank it up to 8 times. Heineman gets us started on Joseph Wall. Power play for the Leafs. Willie Nylander scores. Alright. Continue on. Second period. Tied 1-1. Toronto's getting the shots going. We've kind of stalled. Not Eric Stahl. Or Jordan Stahl. Or even Mark Stahl. Just stalled altogether. Rasmus Dahlin scores on Joseph Wall to give us a 2-1 lead on our 12th shot. After not getting a shot for basically most of the period. We score a goal. Random. And very leafy as it is. 30 shots on for the Leafs, can't score a goal. Seems typical. Power play for us, nothing doing. Our power play has been bad, it seems. At least in the games that we've simmed. Maybe it's better, you know, IRL, but... Dustin Wolf stood on his head, 32 stops. Joseph Wall Still did okay himself in the losing effort, and Darlene 1 goal, 0 assists. So, bit of a goalie match there, which is good to know we could do that. All right. How are we looking? We're into February. I do want to take a look at our contracts for a minute, because we're past the point I think where we can do some extensions. Zach Benson. Oh, am I looking at... What am I doing? Two contracts? I thought so. Did we make him an offer? Trade for asset. Okay. Bo Byron wants 5.575 for 3 years. Alright, so he's in his RFA time. He's out of his RFA time. He's in his UFA time. If we could get him at 5 mil for 3 years. Like, what is he looking for 8? 7.1? Kind of like the 5. I'm willing to offer that. That seems to work. Yeah. Take your time, bud. Heineman having a good year, actually. I don't know about stat-wise. He's up to an 84. That's kind of interesting. Like, what does he want for a contract extension? Okay, he's just having a good year. Which makes me wonder, it's like... If we get him at, like, 2.4? Like, what if we offer him that? Can we flip him for something serious? That's the question. Coolidge? What do you want? He wants a bridge deal. I'm actually okay with that because, like, I don't know what he is yet. Same deal. Alright, Doan is a little more questionable. He's going to be a UFA. I think we wait on Doan. He's going to be a UFA if we do 2 years, I should say. Like, 1 year is still an RFA. He's actually okay with 1 year. It's kind of a continuance of what we're already offering him, I think. It's actually a little cheaper. Again, okay with that? Oh, did he reject it? Okay, I don't know. We'll just leave it. Mohammedullin, see where he's at. He is not overly happy with anything. Like, what is he looking for? We have Kevin Ball. There could be a place where we see what we get offered for him. Oslin will probably just qualify. Lomberg and Texier, not too worried about. Bully situation? Levi is an RFA. He's kind of the perfect backup. So I think we're okay to extend him this way. I'm okay shoring up our goaltender situation for a while. I don't know what we offered Benson. Like, why does it say trade for asset? That's weird. Like, he's our player. What did we offer him? Anyway. Let's keep going. Actually, I want to take a second. I'm kind of curious. Actually, we'll give it a week and see if those contracts come through. Because with Heineman, he's rated an 84 right now. No. Excuse me? Okay. Yeah, we're good with Byram. It does make sense, sure. Despite preferring a smaller market. A smaller market than Buffalo? Where does he want to play? Okay, good. Okay. Kind of curious. I was hoping for more than a third and a fourth. Second, 2/3. A second and a third. Second and a third from the Devils. Let me just take a quick look at this. Second round pick, basically. I mean, I'd be okay with Nason. Is he available? He is not. How is Nason getting a modified no trade clause? Kind of weird. Like, what constitutes a smaller market? Seattle? They don't want to trade their picks, obviously. Well, you know what? Let's take a look at... Since we're heading towards the trade deadline... Alright. Definitely want that, That's fine, that's fine. Let's take a look. Heineman, I think... I don't know if Mohammedullin wants to play for us, so I'm going to put him up there as well. I think Bobo has gained a little bit of notoriety and value. We have him at 1.17 for a couple of years, so we'll put Bobo on there just in case. Also going to put next year's second. And a third, one of their thirds, I think. Let's go with Edmonton, I guess. We'll put those up there and see what happens. They're gonna lose a little morale, but that's gonna be part of the game. Well, we don't really have anything that I'm overly concerned about in terms of matchups, so let's just zip through and see what happens. Nope. No, it's okay. 3-1 win over St. Louis. Everybody, here we come a Wasselin? I don't know anything about this player. First round, 24th overall. Go complete. They're willing to trade a second with him, so I'm guessing it's not something overly special. Mohammedullin and a third for a second and a fourth. I think we'll wait to see if there's any bigger fish. A second in Brennan for a second and a fourth. So swapping seconds, moving up a year. I don't think so. I think we're good. Okay, let's take a look at the draft class now. There we go. That's a little better. So it was just the auto setting, really. Still a lot of question marks. Still not sure what our scouts are doing. Like, it would make sense to scout more in the area we're in. You know, you'd think. At least a little after. Scouting already. Scouting already. Scouting already. Alright, good. We have stuff happening at least. We just need things to come to fruition here. Okay. Things are occurring, which is good. Heineman and Brennan for a second and a third. That's okay. Keep going. 7-1 loss. Goodness. Minnesota Wild have fired their coach? Kind of makes sense. They have been not good. Mohammedullin a third and a seventh for a second and a third. I am not really in a hurry, so see how it goes. Heineman and McMahon for 2 seconds. Columbus's and Colorado's in 27 and 28. All right, let's take a look at this. I mean, I would be happy with this if you're willing to do it. They're not great this year. And their pick is still rated like pretty good. Would they do it? Seriously overvalued things. Okay, well, you know. Gotta try. What about Montreal's pick? Isn't sufficient at all. 2 third-round picks? Like, what was Emil Heinemann? 2nd-round pick. Pretty good player. Colorado, I don't know if it's considered a small market, but they're a buyer. It can't be that bad. I don't know. Seems a little weird. Nope. Do 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 do. Alright, what are you saying, Kulich? I have successfully learned how to play the right wing. I feel ready to take on this challenge. Good, you've been playing it for 2 months. A third in McMahon for a third and a fourth. Do 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 do. I mean, maybe that deal with Heinemann and Baba was actually pretty good. Let's try it again. Mostly Heinemann, I think. It's straight up 2 seconds. I mean, that's interesting. It's basically Kevin Ball Part 2. Warren Fogle? Not so sure about that. Ryan O'Reilly, goodness. A second and a third in McSwain. McSwain. McSwain? That's kind of interesting. Let's take a look at this. What's that guy again? Yeah, I don't know. I think I would just rather the... Like, what are you guys trading for picks? Similar to, like, Colorado, I guess? I don't know. I feel like Bobo is playing like above his pay grade kind of thing. Like, what is he compared to a second? He's not far off. But, like, Colorado is worse. No, they weren't that much different. Like, can we do a second? I don't think this is gonna work, but... Second and a third. Straight up second might work. If we did the second and the third, can we, like... Can we, like, put that? It's funny, because the lines look pretty similar. 5th and a 7th? Okay. I'm okay with that. I feel like we kind of cashed in on Bobo. People liked him, though. Like, Bobo was playing on our fourth line sometimes. Yeah, let's get you another center here. I mean, Hansa could come up. How's he doing? Not great. Cowan's still working through some stuff. Like, why isn't Danforth playing center? Is Longberg, like, better at faceoffs? No. He's very not. I mean, I guess we can give Hanzik a shot. Alright, let's do it. Let's bring up Hanzik. Give the coach another option. Alright, there we go. Interesting. Coach chooses not to actually play a center, you know. Let's just advance the day and see if it changes. It doesn't make sense. I mean, if he's not going to play Hanzik, I'd rather send him back down. And I'll go get another center. Like, that's fine. Boldy's up to a 90. Goodness. I just need me a center about 80. Centers. Eligible for trade. Sunquist is probably a little good. A little too good compared to what I'm looking for. I mean, Kupari's actually having a good season. Oh, and Blackwell? Probably. What do you guys want for Colin Blackwell? Zach Jones, Statsny, Ratzliff? Okay. Third. Really? Third? How about 2 fourths? What a fourth and a fifth from like 3 years from now. Straight up a fourth. goodness. 4th and a 7th. Alright. I'm willing to do that. Lost locker room chemistry. Colin Blackwell, what are you doing, man? You're supposed to come in and help. Okay, good. He's there. Alright. That looks better. More happy with that. Alright. Let's head towards the deadline, see what happens. Maybe we deal Heineman at the deadline? I don't know. Nothing to really care about until then. So let's go straight to the deadline. Nope. Second and a third, but it includes a second, so it's basically a third. I don't think I really want to make that trade. A third and Brennan for a 5th and a 7th? Wouldn't even do that for the third. Heineman in a third for Wasselin, a 2nd and a 3rd. Okay, very confusing. Who is this Wasselin and why am I getting a 2nd and a 3rd? A 3rd is involved. He's an 18-year-old. He was drafted near the end of the first. He's a grinder, maybe? Like, how complete of a scout did we do, honestly? He doesn't look like anything overly special. I'm not sure why they're trading him. Is it basically a long shot? He's been playing well for the London Knights. Potential could be probably top 6 forward. But he's a 66 at 18. Is he really a grinder? The skating is kind of meh. It's basically Wasselin in the 2nd for Heineman, and then we're swapping 3rds. Because we're very close in record. I don't need to make the deal. Like, I only really want to make the deal if I'm kind of wowed. Mohamedulin for a 2nd and a 3rd. I think we'll just leave it. No. We lost on one of our promo nights. Kind of sad. 2 seconds for Heineman and Mohamedulin and Sikora. Sorry about that. Apologize for the interruption. It was somebody was asking for help, so it's hard to say no. It's hard to say no to that. So I'll and then I dropped my controller. It's okay. Controller's okay. All right, Sikora looks like top 9 forward. And we'll take a look. It's 2 seconds for Heineman and Mohamedulin. It's a 2nd round pick. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not convinced. We are doing pretty good too, so I don't know how much disruption I want to do. We'll keep carrying ticket prices, that's fine. Marketing budget, yes, we will increase our season ticket sales a little bit. Since we're winning, it might be easier to sell tickets at home, so let's increase our season ticket budget. We're going to keep our current trade block as it is, and we'll enter the trade deadline. Available players. Most guys are kind of on the latter side of 30. As you would expect with the trade deadline. Wow, even JVR is up there. Heineman and Texier for a second and a fourth. Not really worried about that. The big catch is Kopitar, and he has 2 years left at 6.5. Well, this year and next year at 39. I don't know. Quite a bit. They want a first-round pick for him. They want first-line forwards for Thomas and Frost. Kind of makes sense. Columbus makes a trade. A second and a third to Boston in exchange for a Middlestat and a fifth. Okay, so not a blockbuster by any means. Seattle? Evan Rodriguez, a third and Trennan in exchange for a second and a second. Okay. Probably similar to what we're looking at with the offers we're getting for Heineman and... well, Baba was in there too. But the players that we have available, you know? Still have Heineman and Mohamedoulan available. Heineman has a bit more value. Wow. The Knights trade Brett Howden for that Sikora player and a fourth. A Sikora player. I don't know if it was the same one. I don't think it was Vancouver. It may have been another player. Let's go check out Vegas for a second. Okay. Maybe he's better than our scouts know? I don't know. He's 22. I'm not sure. That was weird. I wonder why they've made Wallstat available. Maybe because they're having a down year? A third, a fifth, and Tomasek to the Leafs in exchange for a second, a third, and Chadwick. Let's go take a look at Minnesota and see if we can, see if there's meat to pick off the bones. Brodin's available, Spurgeon is available, Zuccarello, Starm, older guys. Next trade a second and a third, Medvedev, and a fourth in exchange for Pavel Zacha. Big trade for Vancouver. I don't know. Doesn't look like there's much on... I mean, other than, like, Bouillon. But I don't think they're trading Bouillon. Have him on an extension for 5-1 for like 5 years. That's amazing. New York finally trades Wasselin in a third in exchange for Grzelcyk. Okay. I mean, Just a question. What do you guys want for Booyam? Zach Benson, a first and a third. That's a lot. Marco Rossi. I mean, Brock Faber's interesting too. Of course. Matty Beniers in a first. Tage Thompson in a first. Zach Benson a first and a second. Big time stuff. Marco Rossi. Beniers a second and Doan. Benson a second and a third. Tage Thompson. Okay. Juricic? Or Juricek? Juricek? Anyway. A first, Kulich in a second. No trades according to the block. Heineman in 2 seconds for Isak Rosean. That could be a thing. I'm actually very okay with that. Can we leverage our picks this year? Do we have a second this year? We don't. I'm okay with that because I expect this to be better. Ottawa's pick next year? Can we do that? Buffer it a little bit? Just a bit low. Alright, I'm good with that. I am good with that. Alright, let's see what happened while I was doing stuff. First of all, the Panthers trade Sachin in his second and Divine in exchange for Middleton and Lewis. Okay. Part of the Minnesota sell-off, I guess. Trade summary. What did we miss? Oh, there's our deal. Isamont, third, and Tufty to Boston for a second, a fifth, second and a fifth. Tampa trades a second and a third, and Minigan, I guess. The Detroit in exchange for a third, a fifth, and four-board. Okay. Oscar Sundqvist, a third, and two others go to Philly. Oh, that was for Marino, a third, a fourth. So a bunch of little things. A second and a third, and Samson from Philly. For Morgan Frost and Sundqvist. So Philly flipped Sundqvist. Nice trade, Sam Steele and Skinner. The New York Rangers in exchange for a third, and Gonchar. Okay. Teddy Bluger is on the move. Then there's the Grizzlick deal. Okay. Lots going on. Pretty happy with how things are at the moment. We'll just leave it for a bit and see what happens. Mohamedulin a third and Blackwell for Hemming in a second. Let's take a look. Hemming. First round, 29th overall. Could be elite potential low. Could be around a 72. Two-way forward. I'm not super sold. Like, what's Hemming on its own? Has it rated him pretty highly? I don't know. I don't know enough about him. I think we leave it. Worst case, we do the deal in the off season. There's no worries about that. Chicago trades Miro Manoff and a third to Dallas in exchange for a second, a third, and Muhanen. Okay. Do. Oh, Kuzmenko and Dadanov to New Jersey in exchange for a second, a fourth, and Hillstrom. Those the players available change there. Maybe some players are off the board. Lots of, like, again, lots of rentals available. I don't know if we're gonna have anything else come up on the, like, here, so we'll probably not be trading Heineman. Sorry, Mohamedulin. Heineman be gone. Mohamedulin we might need to deal with in the offseason, depending on how things go. I don't really see any last-minute offers coming in. And even if they do, we don't really have time to evaluate them at this point. So we'll see if, just for the sake of interest, we'll see if we get anything flying here, you know? Oh, Dallas pulls something off. Hemming and Semenoff in exchange for Pajot. Okay. Nothing overly crazy. All right. Oh, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let's take a look at where we are. People are going to be unhappy about Heineman. That's fine. It's Heineman? Could be. Isak Rosean is on the fourth line right now. Defense looks the same. How's Kevin Ball doing? Current morale neutral. He's not overly happy with his individual performance or management. Ice time, ice time, ice time. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk to the coach for the last bit of the season. We don't want Kevin Ball to be overly angry. So... game plan. Ice time allocation. Defense. Oh. New topic. Preferred lines. There we go. Defense. Sharing 2. Right defense. All right. Let's get Kevin Ball up on the second pairing for the remainder of the season. Alright, that should be fine. Alright, grudge match against Ottawa. See how we do against Ottawa? Coronado scores on all market stuff. Okay. Coronado scores on Allmark after they tied it up. Kevin Ball scores on Coronado. He's a little excited about being on the second pairing now. Dylan Cousins scores on Dustin Wolf. 3-2 going into the third. Holland Blackwell, what's up, buddy? Okay. 4-2 win over Buffalo. Dustin Wolf had himself a game. 2 goals for Coronado. Zach Benson with a couple assists. Good stuff. Good to have you back, Benson. Oh, we got the Leafos on Tuesday. Let's go ahead to them. We got a couple games against them in the coming month. I guess we can sim the Islanders. I didn't do the Rangers, but we can do the Islanders, our fellow New York State team. Matthew Nye scores on Dustin Wolf twice. It's very nice, I guess. Michelli puts in a power play goal. Who would have thought? Power play for us. Nothing doing. Can we turn the momentum here? Second period. Let's win the second. Let's win the second. Nick Waugh scores for the Leafs, 4-0. Another power play goal. Power play for us. Nothing doing. Alright. Alright. Morgan Riley puts one in on Ellis. Oh boy. We're down to Ellis. Coronado gets one back to break the shutout for Joseph Wall. Well, big game by Joseph Wall. 34 stops. Matthew Nice with 2. Nick Waugh was 1-1. We did not show up that game. We did not show up. Apparently Colin Blackwell had a game though, so you know, it's good I suppose. Oh, what am I doing? Let's just go buy the New York Rangers. 2 losses to the New York Rangers. We're on a bit of a skid since the trade deadline. Maybe people are a little sad. I don't know. We are barely in a playoff spot right now. We're actually... This game matters a lot against the Islanders. The Rangers are top of the division, so it's less of a worry there. But this game matters. So let's see how it goes. This is a wild card matchup here. Norris puts one out on Sorokin. Sorokin? We had like 8 shots right off the hop. That was crazy. Power play for the Islanders into the second. Nothing doing. We get one of our own. 22 shots on. 23. Islanders get another power play. They still don't... They got a shot, I think. We're halfway through the game. We have 26 shots on net. Goodness. You have to imagine that momentum is going to shift at some point if we're like just obliterating them with shots. Power play for us. We continue the momentum. That's good. 37 shots on Sorokin at this point. Power play again. 41 shots. A 1-0 game. We got 42 shots to 18. Sorokin is probably the first star. Yeah, 41 stops. Wolf had 18. Josh Norris with the 1. So Dustin Wolf gets the shutout, but it was like less than half of the stops that Sorokin made. But that was an important game to win. We moved to 77 points. The Islanders stay at 74. So the Capitals bump up a bit. Do we play the Caps? We play the Caps. Where's New Jersey? New Jersey's probably okay. They're 78. So we're approaching where New Jersey is. If we can get up to where the Leafs are, then we can get out of this wild card race. So a couple matches against New Jersey. Let's go straight to Florida here and see how it goes. How's the draft class looking now? We're drafting a little later, I guess? Well, we have some ideas. Could be anything, though. You never know. It says we're, like, around here, but if we get into playoffs, we're here, I think. At least. No, here at least, I think. Brodziak area. All right, because we're going to be tight to the playoffs. We lose one against the Devils, and we get an overtime win. So we exchange wins with the Devils, and we move 4 points up on the Caps, 3 points up on the Panthers. So this one matters too. This could move the Panthers within 1. So let's see how we do against Florida. Brad Marchand puts one in on Levi. But Beniers gets one right back on Bobrovsky. Power play for Florida. All right. Continue. Sam Bennett scores on Levi. 2-1 for Florida. Mohamed Doolin gets one back on Bobrovsky. 4-on-3. We get a 5-on-4. That was a lot of power play all of a sudden. Florida's doing to us what we did the other game. They got 29 shots. We have 17. But it's tied 2-2, so I'll take that. Despite the pressure. Got a little momentum going. Shots are almost evened up before Florida got it back. Still 2-2. Power play for us right at the end. Nothing doing. We're going into OT. So we get the loser point at the least. Power play and OT. And we can't make it happen. Goodness. Verhaeghe scores in the shootout. Florida gets the win, but we get the loser point out of it, which really helps us. Levi with 36 stops, Bobrovsky with 29, Sam Bennett with a goal for your 3 stars. Interesting. That actually helps us a lot because we stay 2 points ahead of the Panthers instead of them being 1 point behind us now. There's also the Canadiens between us and them. We're 3 points behind the Leafs now. 3 points behind the Leafs. Looks like they have two games in hand too. So if we win this against the Leafs, that really helps us because that chews up a game. 39-25-5. We're 39-29-2. Let's see how we do against the Leafs. Leafs with like 6 shots off the hop. We don't get any until the 13th minute. Goodness. Well, 7th minute, I guess. Josh Norris scores on Wall. Take the lead in shots. We took momentum from the Leafs. That's good. Big push at the end of the first period. 15 shots from like nothing after 7 minutes. Looks like it's pretty even back and forth type game. Zach Jones puts one in on Wall. Owen Power puts one in. 3-0 so far, halfway through the game. Leafs have a power play, nothing doing there. We have our power play of our own, also nothing doing. All right, let's continue. Steven Lorentz puts one in. 3-1, 10 minutes left in the game. Danforth gets it back. 4-1, we get the 3-goal lead back. Good stuff. We're up to 37 shots, goodness. Alright, 4-1 win over the Leafs. Good stuff. We draw ourselves closer. I'm gonna guess that, well, Levi's in net. I don't know where Wolf is. Maybe Wolf's injured? Levi's doing okay, though. Alright. So, in the standings, we're still in the wildcard spot. We're 1 ahead of the Canadiens. We're 2 ahead of the Panthers. And we're 4 ahead of the Islanders. So, it's the Canadiens and the Panthers we have to worry about. But, we're getting close to catching the Leafs. So, let's try going to Washington here. See how we do against Utah and Tampa. A win over Carolina puts us into 3rd. back down to 4th behind the Leafs. OT lost though. We get a point. We get points in our last 3. The Leafs dropped down to 5th with 86. They're well in hand of the Red Wings though. The Panthers dropped down. I don't think there's any way that the Islanders are catching the Leafs at this point. It'd be very unlikely. 5 points behind with like 8 games to go. So Washington is at 79. The chances of them catching are very low as well. Montreal could. So let's see how we do after this week. Hard loss to the Capitals. We drop into 4th. We pop back into 3rd with a win over Utah. Another loss to the Capitals. We're in 3rd still. A loss against Philly. An overtime win. Still haven't clinched, but we're sitting in 3rd. We have 91 points. So do the Canadiens and the Panthers. The Panthers sprung back. The Leafs are now at 88, but they have 4 games left. We have 3. I don't think that the Capitals can catch. They're at 85. They have to get to at least 91 to catch the Panthers. So the Leafs maybe? But it's looking pretty good. Montreal is tied with us. So this game matters. Boston is out. The Red Wings are probably out, although it's possible. So let's see how we do against the Canadiens. It's very close. This is very close. All right. Second period. Beniers puts one in on Montembeault. Gives us a 1-0 lead. Power play. Rasmus Dahlin scores not on the power play. Brodzinski scores. Carconi scores 2-2. I'm not looking for miracles. I'm just looking for a point. At least. It'd be good to get the 2. Tage Thompson puts one in on Montembeault, 3-2. Tage Thompson gets another one. Those are 2 clutch goals by Tage. 5-on-3 for Montreal. They did not capitalize. That could be incredibly important for them. Danforth gets an empty netter. 5-2 win over the Montreal Canadiens. Tage Thompson, 2 goals, 1 assist. Boldy with 3 assists. And Dustin Wolf back on the attack with the win. Good stuff. So that still doesn't clinch. As the Panthers are also sitting at 93, but we have 2 games in hand. And it's against the Red Wings and the Bruins, and they're both out. Which never fills me with confidence because like those guys are loose and they don't have a problem at this point. Still didn't clinch. The Capitals are at 87. So I don't think anybody's catching. The Maple Leafs are the only chance to kick any of the 3 of us out. So let's see how we do against Detroit. Crank it up to 8 times. Power play off the hop, nothing occurring. Same with Detroit. Power play for us again. Also nothing happening. That's a lot of power plays with nothing happening. Cole scores one on Wolf, 1-0 Detroit. Casper puts one in, same deal, 2-0. Appleton with the 3rd. Not the game you want to be losing, gotta say. Power play for us didn't get a shot. Goodness. Our power play has been a disaster this season, I think. DeBrincat gets a power play goal. 4-0 for Detroit going into the third. Power play again for Detroit. 30 shots on. Goodness, 31. They just have the momentum. We're doing nothing. Season is on the line here, and our guys are kind of, you know. The Leafs can still boot us. Or nothing loss. When we're trying to lock down the season, Talbot just stands on his head. Appleton 1-1, Casper 1-1. Terrible effort by our team. Still not locked down. Let's go to the last game of the season. We're still not guaranteed a playoff spot. The Leafs move into the second... they move into the second wild card spot. They have a game in hand on us. Montreal is still there. Montreal has one game left, just as us. I think we need a win to be sure. And then it'll be tie breaks if we get a point. And Boston is the bottom of the division. So this matters a lot. We need to win this to ensure that we go to the playoffs. And Yoki Haru scores in the first minute on Levi. Look, what? Guys, wake up. Pasta scores 2-0. 2-0 after one. Season on the line, really. Like, we need a point to give us a shot, and we need 2 points to be sure. And we're so far in the last 5 periods against teams that are below us, we've given up 8 goals and haven't scored any. Coronado finally breaks it. Goodness. Come on. I mean, if they can't lock it down with 2 games left against bad teams, which apparently aren't as bad as us in these particular 2 games, we may miss the playoffs if we don't win this game, or at least get a point, which we're not going to. It doesn't look like. I don't know how we intend to do well in the playoffs if we can't win these games. These were playoff games for us, essentially. If we make it in, it's because others failed. Pasta 1-1, Yoki Haru 1-1. Swayman all of a sudden becomes George Vezina himself. And now our fate is up to other people. Our fate is up to... Oh, we locked it! That's amazing! We made it. Our fate was based on other teams. And we scratched into the playoffs. Well, we did make it to the playoffs. Amazing. Is the team ready for the challenge ahead? Is it? Kind of questionable. All right. Well, good job. I expect goals to be accomplished when I set them. Keep doing this and you'll be a shoo-in for an extension when the time comes. Defending home ice is a must. For a team like ours, get 20 home wins. We did. I would like to be within 1.5 million of our player salary budget. I set of 97.251 million. I kind of just fell into that. I'll take it. 90,000 is added to our budget. Let's go handle that. We got Tampa in the first round. Battle of Ontario over there. We'll take a look at everything. Just give me a sec. Do. Operations budget. Probably put the scout salaries maxed. Okay, those are maxed. Advertising it is. Okay. Let's take a look at how things went. All right, Rasmus Dahlin should not be leading our team in scoring. That shouldn't be happening. 22 goals, 48 assists, 70 points in 82 games for Rasmus Dahlin. Tage Thompson, buddy. 28 goals, 27 assists, 55 points. You know, plus 20 though. So if you're not going to put him in, stop him from going in. Boldy, 18 goals, 36 assists, and 54 points. Matty Beniers, 21 goals, 31 assists, 52 points. Coronado, 24 goals, 27 assists for 51 points. Our points were very low. Overall, Benson, 34 assists for 49. Owen Power, 45 points with 34 assists. Kulich had 27. I don't know how he did on the third line. His plus minus is not good. Same with Doan, Texier. Our bottom six was not good. Isak Roseanne had a tough time this season. Oh boy. Let's take a look. How did he do with us though? That's what's important. He did much better with us than he did with Minnesota, at least plus minus wise. His shooting was 3.4%. So I expect bigger things out of him in the future. I believe he can be more if we help him out. So maybe we work on his puck skills, or we work on definitely his physicality. He's 6 feet tall, 188 pounds. He needs to be stronger. But, you know, top 6 forward potential playmaker, kind of stuff that we need. Mohamed Doolin, he had a lot of time on the second pairing, and you know, for a two-way defender, not much was happening there. Ball, I expect him to be hitting people. He was good on the blocks. Mohamed Doolin was actually better on the blocks, but he did have more ice time, I believe. He played like on average 2 minutes a night more. Hits were similar. He was negative 11, so Ball played okay. Mohamed Doolin was actually in the pluses. Might be because he was playing with Bo Byram, I don't know. Let's take a look at our goalies. Dustin Wolf, 9-16, 38 wins, 27 losses. Levi was 7-7-1-1. 7-7-1 with 1 shutout. He was a 9-21. He did his job when he was playing. So did Dustin Wolf. Goaltending is fine. Don't have a problem with it. Let's take a look at the entire league. The Otter is up there with 44 wins. Vasi 42. Oh, they're going to be tough. Vasi had 42 wins. Shesterkin 41. Kochikov 40. Skinner 40. And Wolf was here. Wolf was 6th in terms of wins. Let's check. I want to do minimum 20 games played. Goodness, Lankinen, what happened? That's crazy. James Reimer? Okay. Kemper, Schmid. Some of these guys had some insane goals against average. Wolf was down here. 9-16? I guess he was like middle of the road. It was a goaltending year for sure. Alright, let's take a look at the playoff tree. Oh, I forgot to look at the forwards stats. I don't think our players are going to be very close, so. We got Tampa. Toronto has Ottawa. Original 6 matchup with the Rangers and Montreal, and then the Devils and Hurricanes. On the other side, we have Chicago and the Avalanche, Dallas and the Kings. Battle of Alberta. Beautiful. Vancouver and San Jose. So, Whale versus Shark. Awesome. That's a special on Discovery. Alright, let's check out the player stats. We'll see how the rest of the league did in terms of points. Goodness. McDavid 110. Hedman had 104. 85 assists. Goodness. And we're going to face them in the first round. That's fun. Bedard 102. 43 goals for him. Fox had 99. Wow. Kucherov 95. Rantanen 93 with 45 goals. Kadri Willie's up there. 85 points. Pasta had 43 goals. Let's see, like, who? Celebrini. Goodness. 49 goals, 83 assists. McDavid had 4. There's a bunch of them at 45. 43, 43, 42, 41, and Ovi at 41. It puts in 39 goals. Goodness. What is he up to? 970 goals in this simulation. That's crazy. What a guy. What a guy. 41 years old, continues to be dominant. All right. I think that's it for this week. We'll start. I will be here. I wasn't going to be here, but I will be here next week to do... Well, I'll be here on Saturday. So I'm not going away, so we'll be here all month. And we'll continue with the playoffs next week, and then we'll see how far we go. The Tampa Bay Lightning were 53, 24, and 5. They were 5 and 5 in their last 10, so they're not on fire, but I mean, if you look at goals per game, goals for per game, they're at 3.228. We're at 2.77, 27th. Goals against per game, we're actually 3rd. So we were a very good defensive team. Power play, we were 23rd at 13%. They were 25th. Okay. Penalty kill, we're 14th. They're 2nd. So our already difficult power play is going to be against a very good penalty kill. And Vasi was insane. So, here we are. Well, thanks for joining me. Appreciate every minute you spend with me. Hope you have yourself a good weekend. Enjoy your afternoon. And I will see you next time. Have yourselves a good one. See you soon.